Okay, now starting us off in the top left-hand position, we do have the Cyan Terran fighting for Psi. It's KikO. And his opponent spawning over here in the top right-hand position, we have the light yellow Terran fighting for DM. It's J1. Now, I did mention before about there being so many different ways of playing TVT, and I just want to kind of go through a few of them now, while there's not really too much going on in the actual game. Obviously, there's a lot of variations of openings. You can go for 14cc relatively easily. You can also go for 1 Rax expand, you can go for a factory expand, you can also go for a factory all-in, you can go for 2-port Wraith, you can go for 1 factory 1 starport. And from there you can either go drop and tanks, drop and vultures, or even wraith and tank. And depending on the map, obviously different builds have different strengths. But even after that, you can play super aggressive in TVT if you want to. Like when you take a look back at, say, 2010, when Fantasy and Flash were at kind of like their peaks, Fantasy versus Flash was always so interesting because the way they played was polar opposites. So Flash was always super careful, you would always methodically move out and take ground on the map, and Fantasy would just like... I can't explain Fantasy style. I've been trying to emulate it myself for so many years, and I guess the only way I can possibly sort of quantify it into words is it's very... not random, but it's kind of... I don't want to say aggressive, because it is aggressive, but it's calculated. Like, it's not aggressive for the sake of aggression. It's aggressive because he calculated that he had a chance to break somewhere, and it immediately went for it. We saw both of them go for a lot of drops back in the day as well. Now, obviously in modern TBT, that's changed a little bit. Drops are still popular, but you also have a lot of sort of Wraith builds these days. Now, Wraith builds are weird in the fact that they're not actually that good, in my... like, they're very situational, because if you go Wraiths, your opponent kind of has to either build a lot of Goliaths, or go Wraiths themselves, or go Valkyries. Now, the issue with Valkyries is they cost a lot of supply, they cost a lot of gas, and once you've actually cleaned up the Wraiths, the Valkyries don't do anything anymore. So, a lot of times you'll see like Wraith versus Wraith, in which case like the micro is absolutely ridiculous. Now, Goliath tank and dropship, the reason why Wraith is actually so good is because if you can catch the dropships with the Wraiths, you essentially win the game. Because you kill a ton of supply in that dropship tech, as well as a lot of the units inside most likely. So I'm kind of excited to see how both of these players are going to try it. Now, we are going to see J1 going for that 1 factory 1 starport. Meanwhile, we have a 1 factory expand here coming in from KikO. Now, KikO's actually opted to go for 3 Marines. That isn't normal as such in TVT. Realistically, in TVT, you want to build as few Marines as possible to get the CC up as quick as possible, but actually heading for these 3 Marines here is going to help him a little bit, because it's actually going to be 2 fact, 1 starport off of 1 base. J1 is going to play this hyper aggressive here and see if he can get a really good position on the map. Now, just to actually, while we've got a moment in this game, let's zoom out a little bit and look at the way the map features work on this map. So you have this small area here. Now, there is a small little gap which no Terran mech units can fit through, but if J1 wants to push, he can actually mine out these minerals. Now, there is quite a lot of minerals there. It does take quite a few trips to get all of them down, but if J1 can break up onto this ground, if you get tanks on this high ground here, you essentially control the thoroughway out of KikO's base, so it can be very difficult. And also, if you can get tanks to this location by pushing through the middle here, you can actually set up a really, really hard contain and make it very difficult for your Terran opponent to really do too much. Now, we do have the second factory coming in here for KikO, so he will have a decent amount of units. Now, this is actually going to be double factory vulture production here for J1. Now, J1 is actually mining a lot outside of his own base, So I don't know if J1 has maybe misread what KikO is actually planning to do. But there's going to be a dropship coming in. The barracks does spot this, which is a massive, massive deal. Now you can already see that KikO is pulling his units back into his main. Because as long as he defends his main here, he should be in a good spot. And this is going to put J1 actually quite far behind. But here we go, the dropship going to be moving in. Unfortunately, it looks like there's no reaction to the fact the drop was there. I think he was more worried about the barracks. So this barracks is going to be doing a ton of work. And here we go, J1 going to drop in. He's actually got a lot of mines left on these vultures as well. And if you get a lot of mines in your base as Terran, it can be very, very frustrating. You don't have observers or anything, so you kind of have to waste scans on it or build turrets. But nice target firing so far by KikO, keeping those mines out of harm's way. But unfortunately, oh, the mine! Okay, he does get it. But the trouble is, he's lost one base worth of mining. He's obviously kept all the SCVs alive. But he did lose mining time, and that's a pretty big deal. Now J1 is going to pick up the vultures, head over to the natural, but it looks like KikO is going to be a little bit better defended here, as there are 2 tanks already. Finally, the 2 factory production starting to kick in, and KikO after that is going to be in a pretty good position. Now he does need to make sure he keeps up on his SCV production. Now it looks like through the micro there, both of them actually let the macro slip just a little bit. We do have an armory up here, not upgrading +1 just yet. Back in J1's base, we've got 2 factories still producing. He's finally going to move on to tanks. Now, speed is done for the vultures, actually laying a lot of mines in kind of the dead space here, but are going to be useful for scouting any possible dropships later on. That's a really nice path to go through with your dropships. Now, looks like J1 is continuing to try and be aggressive here. This is a little bit of a risky play, given the fact he hasn't really done all that much damage. But given the fact he is expanding himself, it'll work out quite nicely, I think. But he really does need to grab these 2 tanks with the dropship and bring them over. Looks like he's going to go into the main again, though. KikO is actually not defended in his main anymore. He's pulled all of his units away, so this could be a massive deal. KikO does not see this, so here we go. J1 going to be moving in with his vultures, getting one of those SCVs, going to get a second one, not delaying the armory or the academy, but will delay the barracks again. And look at this, he's just going to pick up and go away. That's the kind of moves you need to make in TVT. And look, KikO's actually pulled everything away from his natural, so J1 is going to be able to do more damage here. Gets an SCV delaying the gas, gets a second SCV, yes, just about, but does lose all the vultures again. But look at this, J1 with that damage. It wasn't much, but it's actually evened up the worker count. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Mind Flayer. I hope it's nothing serious though, because yeah, going through serious stuff isn't great. Now, both players are actually rebuilding their barracks, so neither of them can actually build any factories right now. Looks like KikO is finally going to push out a little bit on the map. Going to have to be careful, though, of those mines. Now, we did see some scans coming down. Looks like KikO actually probably scanned the main to check the unit count. But look at this, KikO going to be pushing forward, going to try and take this position over the top of J1's natural. Oh, the mine. Okay, a little bit unfortunate, but does manage to keep the Goliath alive. Oh, so close. Oh my god, please don't let this mine hit. This would be absolutely devastating. But the trouble is, if KikO goes here, look at this, double dropship coming into the main. And a lot of the units have been sent away by KikO, so there's not really that much back here to defend. There's going to be 2 siege tanks. This is going to be massive. Now, it looks like the tanks didn't take a hit, but they are going to take some hits from these siege tanks on the low ground, and that is incredibly unfortunate. You do not want to stack your tanks up like this in TVT, because it can get very, very hairy. Now, the tank in the main base hasn't actually killed that much, but KikO is unable to finish this factory for now. Now, it looks like KikO's tanks are actually doing a pretty good job on that high ground. They've not been taken out just yet, have got a couple of tank kills. But KikO is now supply blocked, losing 2 of his depots, going to lose a 3rd one as well. J1's actually microing against a building with his Vulture. He's got enough time, so looks like we are going to have KikO pull his SCVs here, going in to try and clean this up, to be honest. It may have been better just to send the SCVs. Like, I don't really understand why to lose or why you would go and lose the tank there. But this is the problem. Like, you send all of your units to a very forward position, and then you get dropped. That's TVT, and that's one of the reasons why this map is so unbelievably good for it as well. Because if you think about it, the mains are so close by air, the drops aren't really going to do too much. Now, we do have a little bit of a race switch. It's not a massive one or anything. There's no cloak, no second or third starports, but we do have an additional 2 factories coming up, plus 1 attack is finally on the way now. That's going to be a lot further behind KikO's, but unfortunately KikO doesn't have his starport yet, so there's going to be no +2 for a very long time, but KikO is going to be the one to look to expand here. The Wraith coming back in, tanks on the low ground shelling down. I really wish that KikO would have sent an SCV with this to actually repair, but looks like J1 is eventually going to be able to break this. Like, there is going to be 2 dropships worth of units dropping on it, but KikO I definitely put at the advantage still now. Oh wow, he actually only just drops a single SCV. This guy's a hero, kills the tank, saves the base, and I mean, J1's still in a very good position. All of Team pSi are actually from Bulgaria, so if you're unsure where Team pSi are from, like, I don't think they have a single member who's not from Bulgaria. They're like the Bulgarian StarCraft 1 community, essentially, so if you know any Bulgarian players, they're very, very likely on pSi. Now, we finally do have a starport coming in here for KikO. Missile turrets coming up. I'd prefer to see these a little bit further forward, but you can't actually build turrets here because they can get sieged by a tank. So, kind of interesting how we'll have that. It looks like KikO wants to try and sneak a base down in the bottom left. We do have J1 finally expanding to the middle as well. Now, one of my favorite things about TVT, and this is such a strange thing to love, is just hearing all of the scan sounds going off constantly. It just feels so therapeutic for some reason. And here we go, J1 looking to make another drop into the main. No, actually going to drop into this third base. Looks like KikO has left it a little bit undefended. Maybe playing a little bit too cautiously in the main now. Oh, KikO trying to go for that mind drag there. Unfortunately, unable to do it. Losing the Goliath in the process, but looks like we are going to have these tanks cleared up. But look at this, KikO is actually out of range. He's misjudged how far away those tanks are, and that can be really problematic because look at this, the scanner's going to go down, the scan energy not been used up yet, and this is a forced base lift. He should just send the SCVs. It's TVT. SCVs are essentially worthless. Like, it's really hard to explain this until you watch someone like Flash play TVT, but Flash will literally send SCVs to their death regardless of the point in the game, because the important thing is you keep the base alive. If you keep the base alive, you build another 10 SCVs and it doesn't matter. Like, I would not like to be an SCV in Flash's army in TVT, because they get pulled at every possible opportunity. You've heard about conscription. They become Marines. These poor SCVs don't even get Marine suits. They don't get guns. They just get sent to their deaths. And looks like we are going to have a Wraith come in here. This will eventually clean this up. But the issue is there's going to be another 2 dropships going along the top. There isn't any repair on this dropship though. Oh, this dropship's going to go down. There's nothing. Oh, that's unfortunate. But that's why you repair your dropships, folks, because otherwise they're going to die. But look at this, J1 is going to take the economic lead now because KikO was unable to get a base in the bottom left. And his third base in the middle is actually being denied by a single tank. And that is a fair point. If they got SCVs or if they got Marine suits, they're diving faster. Finally, the boys have been pulled. They're going to jump on. Look how quickly this tank dies. None of the SCVs died. These guys, they're going home with a Medal of Honor. And finally, KikO is able to defend his base in the middle. Gonna start mining, should be getting guys on this gas immediately. Now let's check the factory count for both players. We've got only two add-ons here for KikO because he was only on 2 gas for a while. But J1, look at this, he's going up to 8 factories already, 3 machine shops. To be honest, you can probably afford to go for more than 3. But this is the problem. Look at this. KikO going to try and push forward. Is going to get one of those tanks. But you can't really attack this base. Like, the way this map works, like, this area is not going to be broken. This is a pretty cool game so far. We've actually got a vulture run by coming down here in the bottom left. Going to lay some mines to block any further expansion attempts from KikO. Let's see if +2 attack is done. No +2 attack just yet. It is nearly finished. Let's have a look at J1. He does have +1 attack. +2 attack is a little bit further away, but obviously in a decent position regardless. Now this is going to be a problem because cyan, same color of these minerals, so he's not going to be able to see them, but luckily enough, it's not going to affect the players too much. But there is a few tanks there. They're going to stop J1 from ever effectively pushing through the middle. Now J1 is going to take the mineral only base here. Thank you, Lee, for the sub, man. Good to see you here. Hope you're having a good evening. And looking at the vulture, I don't know why I said that, but finally we do have a couple of vultures coming in. They should start laying their own mines, but they don't actually have the mine upgrade yet, so we're not going to have any map presence here for KikO, which is going to be a little bit of a problem. J1 taking a base lead over KikO now. He has had that second gas mining for a very long time now. Both of them actually using their engineering base to scout for this island. Now, taking this island base is great if you can get it, because it is a full gas, but it's so vulnerable to siege tanks. Both players can get siege tanks on this base and shoot the CC, so probably not going to see that. Now J1 looks like he's going to be making a little bit of an aggressive move in this game as he moves down towards the bottom left. Now you can actually just use this and siege up here and defend the bottom right base, which I think is what it's going to do. Yeah, there we go. Now KikO is going to try and send some vultures down here to get around to do some damage, but J1 moving in position at the perfect time, going to stop the vast majority of those vultures. Now we still don't really see any major waves of aggression coming in from KikO. He doesn't have a massive swell of dropships or anything like that. Of course, we've got no physics lab just yet for either player. That's going to be a long way away. We do need a few more gas bases for both our players to do that. Supplies are still relatively even, but obviously both players looking to just try and expand to all of the... Oh, that was a nice mine. Unfortunately, didn't get the extra shots off on these Goliaths, but always nice to use mines to kill a lot of other units. It's value, man. Super value. Now, +2 attack is actually done for KikO, so realistically, KikO should be the one who's being aggressive here. But +2 attack has finished for J1 as well, so scratch that. It's going to be difficult for either player to push. We are seeing that big map split in the middle. Now, interestingly, we don't have J1 pushing to secure this location, so it does mean KikO can actually move up to this location here and siege down these minerals. Now, that can be a very difficult position to break up here, but obviously when you're on the low ground, you have a lot wider of an angle. We do have a lot of scans going down still. Both players taking their 4th gas base at pretty much exactly the same time, but this is the big move here. KikO, or J1 even, is going to go for a big drop into the main base. It looks like there is a lot of turrets though, and a lot of Goliaths. Oh my god. Oh, the dropship goes down with 4 Goliaths in. The SCVs have been pulled again. He's going to try and break his way through. KikO in a little bit of a dangerous situation here. Going to find it very difficult to push up to these tanks, but it looks like he's doing a relatively good job so far. The J1 is taking a massive supply lead in workers. Really, KikO is not leaving tanks in the correct location, but it looks like KikO is trying to break through the middle, and he's finally broken through, but he can't break through these 2 tanks. Surely it's going to be so difficult. But I mean, J1 has no vision of this, so there's absolutely nothing he can do. Look at this, he can't see the SCVs. Now we have another big drop lining up, but the dropships haven't been repaired. J1, you need to repair your dropships because that dropship is going to go down with 2 tanks in it. It looks like we are going to have him drop into the island base. If he can do that, it can be pretty good. One thing to point out... Oh, okay, so this is actually proper high ground, so we can't see it. I know there's one of the maps where this terrain isn't actually proper high ground, but it is. So he is going to be able to stop the mineral mining, at least from these couple of patches. And it's going to allow him to take this gas in the middle if he wants. It's going to be hard, though. Okay, using some more sacrificial SCVs. Looks like KikO has got the memo, but unfortunately his units are stuck. And they're not pushing forward, so... Finally, we're going to see that now. He has lost his vision on the high ground, but good scan. I don't know why this is lifted. The tanks are not in range of that base. They may be able to just hit the comsat, but they're not going to be able to hit the minerals. So he's a little bit of a reaction there in terms of upgrades. 2-1 upgrades are actually done for J1. KikO has 3-1 now. Wouldn't surprise me to start to see some kind of air switch coming in soon. But KikO's actually down 40 SCVs, so KikO's economy is not great. He doesn't have the kind of mineral bank you would normally see in a TVT. He's got a lot of factories building units. Now, he is going to clear these tanks out, but part of me wonders if it's actually worth doing that. You may as well just leave them there, they're dead supply, but I guess when you worry that your opponent's going to take the island base, it's pretty worth it. Okay, no gas here from KikO. But the trouble is, KikO doesn't have the SCVs to get that mineral bank. Like, this base isn't even mining anymore, but the funny thing about TVT is the longer it goes on, the more likely it is KikO is going to have more bases mining, because J1 has had this base for a very, very long time. You can look at the minerals are a lot healthier here for KikO, and KikO's only got 1 guy on gas, so KikO definitely needs to work on making sure he has more gas coming in TVT, but looks like we are going to have KikO try and push through the middle. Unfortunately for him, there's not going to be able to do too much, but here we go, the drop coming through the center of the map. These dropships actually quite low. Oh my god, the Goliaths are getting up one of the dropships. You really need to repair your dropships in TVT, because otherwise this happens. Look how dangerously low they are. Only one of them has units. What is up with this drop? This is such a strange place to try and drop. He's actually going to just give up a ton of units. And if the dropships go down, you lose your mobility in TVT. There we go, another one gets picked off. And another one is about to die as well. And oh no, that dropship's going to die to the turret, I think. Oh, okay, that was close. J1 definitely has an advantage now in this game, both bank-wise, SCV-wise, and supply-wise. But the army supplies are actually surprisingly similar. Given the amount of SCVs that KikO or J1 actually has compared to KikO. So J1 has got to realize that he can't actually do a ton of damage. He needs to look to try and find another way around. Now, if he actually scans ahead, he'll find that there's absolutely nothing down here. Just take these 4 tanks and push them onto this high ground, and it can be so good. But obviously when you're in the heat at the moment, there's a lot of adrenaline going through your system. You're not 100% sure. Now, is this going to be a physics lab or a covert ops? I'm going to assume a physics lab. Yeah, it is going to be a physics lab. I was hoping it was going to be ghosts. Like, ghosts would just make this game complete. But unfortunately, we can't really do too much. Now, J1 has got a ton of minerals, and this is because he's been maxed for ages. There is nothing he can spend the minerals on, and he's still mining them. Now, in TVT, that's not necessarily a problem, but here we go. There's another big drop coming in. One of the dropships still incredibly low. So if we get good target... Oh my god, he target fires on the damaged dropship. And the dropships are flying over the... Oh, they're flying over the depots. They can't drop properly when they're under there. But this is going to be a big drop. KikO cannot afford to lose all of these supply depots. But let's see if KikO has his own dropships. Another one does come out. But where are they? Here we go, he's going to try and counter drop on top of them with 3 sets of units. He's not lost too many of the depots, which is a massive deal. But look, 3 attack Goliaths killed dropships so quickly. He's unable to drop most of his units there, and J1 is continuing to take an incredible lead. Now, unfortunately, this tank is not slightly further forward, so it can't attack this. But J1's drops, while they've not been the most efficient, this one has definitely been the best one so far this game, because he has done so much damage. KikO is actually only down to 39 SCVs. KikO is going to take forever to try and replenish all the... Wait, did KikO just like overbuild depots or something? How is he still... Oh, it looks like he rebuilt them as they were taking damage. That's actually really clever. Okay, that's not too bad. I just thought he had like 1 million depots or something. Yeah, if KikO was to use Show Me the Money, he'd still have less minerals. So that's a really good one. I probably said that name wrong. Okay, so both players gonna go back to being a little bit more defensive. Now, J1, part of that drop was to actually just free up supply. Obviously, the more damage you do, the better. But if you can just trade away units and get a ton of supply, you can go in to the wonderful battle cruiser. And here we go, the first battle cruiser is in the game. He has 1 upgrades already. KikO has scanned. Oh, he sees the BC. That is absolutely massive. You can see he's going to scan again just to make sure. And he sees where the dropships are as well. So that makes it a little bit more difficult. Now it looks like he is going to try and push forward. But J1 has finally realized, you know what? I have so many minerals. I'm just going to sack SCVs. And I mean, KikO is barely mining. This is such a big problem. Like, he needs to... Like, yes, he has a massive army, but he needs a bank. He needs to start transitioning into air units or something. And he is going to go into BCs himself. But he doesn't have the economy to support it. J1, honestly, should just add on like 5 or 6 starports at this point. And just mass battle cruisers. And it's going to be so difficult for KikO to do this. Now, good to see you, Mazzy. Yeah, this is Blitz X. Now here we have another drop coming down here in the middle of the map. Looks like KikO is a little bit better defended, but unfortunately a lot of the depots actually blocking the tanks from being able to come in to defend this properly again. And KikO's building positioning has definitely caused him a lot of trouble in this game, but of course, while J1 does have a massive bank, if he keeps throwing away units, we could have a very weird situation. These dropships are very low. So does need to be careful. Finally, some tanks on the high ground here. Going to take down these units. The dropships have been cleaned up. And you know what? Maybe this is the moment J1 wants to push and take down the bottom right-hand base. Let's see if he's going to do it. It does take a lot of decision making and a lot of guts to actually push in TVT when +3 attack is done. But if you can actually make it work, you can cut off the supply lines of J1. But J1 is so rich that even if he stops mining now for the next 10 minutes, he's still going to be a good position. Now, we do have 1-1, of course, done for the battle cruisers on J1's side. We have KikO adding on more and more missile turrets, just making it a little bit harder for the battle cruisers to get in. No additional upgrades coming in on the armories here for KikO. That makes it a lot harder if you're going into BCs against your opponent's BCs. If you don't at least have upgrade parity, it can be very difficult. And yeah, Choo-Chooch, there's pretty much nothing that J1 can spend the money on. He's maxed out. He's building BCs, which are mostly gas. I mean, the only thing he could possibly do is spam turrets, but he knows his opponent isn't going for mass air, so there's absolutely no reason to. It's better to just save your money, and then whatever your Terran opponent does, unless he can cripple your production. I mean, the one thing that J1 does need to do... There we go, he's actually noticed. So I was going to say he's got a ton of idle SCVs over here. He just needs to sack them. He doesn't need them anymore. It's just a waste of supply. The tanks are actually blocking the way, which is kind of funny. This is always funny. Oh, J1 scanned. He's going to attack the bottom left base with them. Look at this. Watch the march of the boys. As they head on down, I'm actually going to follow them. Just to keep an eye on exactly what they're going to do. I said, oh, they're going to run into Goliaths first. Goliaths are going to do quite a lot of damage, but look, there's just way too many of them. But when they're all stacked up like this, tanks are pretty good. Now, they do finally get there, but unfortunately unable to do any damage. Now these mines in the middle still doing their job, keeping an eye out, but this is the main story. 5 BCs already. 2 upgrades, I believe, are almost done. No, they're not actually. They're a little bit away. He's not. Wait. He's not getting +2 attack. This is a pretty big mistake. Oh, it just finished. Okay. And look at this. Yamato gets one of the tanks. And he is going to continue to do that over and over again because that is the ultimate power play in TBT. Okay, so many scans going off absolutely everywhere. I love that sound so much. Both of them trying to figure out exactly what their opponent has. Now KikO is going to try and switch into mass BC. But the issue is he doesn't, at the moment at least, he doesn't have the money to do it. But the later the game goes on, he is still going to be mining. Now it looks like we are going to have another Yamato. Oh, actually pulling some of the Goliaths into tank range. Very difficult. Nice micro on these battle cruisers for now, not taking any damage. Now, are we going to see a big drop? A big drop in the main could actually be very powerful here. If he knocks out the starport production, he's going to be in a good spot. But the trouble is he doesn't know exactly how much J1 has back to defend. And here we go, another Yamato going down, another dead tank. Trading energy for units is always a good play. And yet again, another Yamato. I never get bored of hearing Yamatos going off. I wish we had lockdown though. But looks like J1 getting a little bit careless with his tanks, trying to push forward, trying to break through. We're going to have another Yamato soon. And here we go, here it comes. Yamato! And he gets it. There we go, another tank going down. And there's absolutely no recompense for this. J1 cannot be pushed. KikO can't get through the middle of the map. He needs to drop the main. He just needs to go for mass drop and try and cripple the production of J1. It looks like we're going to have battle cruisers coming out though. More and more tanks going down. The more tanks that go down, the harder it is for the Goliaths to actually be able to push forward. With 32 minutes into this game, KikO has still got a lot of money at his bases. And J1 is almost mined now. He's up at 20,000 minerals because he just doesn't have anything to spend them on. Now it looks like J1 is going to opt to push forward. Now J1's getting ready for a possible race switch. That's what he thinks is coming because Valkyries absolutely annihilate race. Now if you can suddenly come out with 2 control groups of race, you kill all of these BCs. We saw it in Kogut versus Marwyn. We could certainly see it here. Now unfortunately KikO does not have the money to do that kind of play, so we're not going to see it here. And I mean, KikO is reinforcing this position. But look at this, J1 is going to send his battle cruisers around the edge of the map. 2 upgrades are done. And he can take out the heartlands of KikO's economy if he just pushes to the bottom left. And it's going to be so unbelievably difficult for KikO to do anything about this. He's adding more and more turrets on, but he can't really afford this. Okay, the Goliath micro is not actually there. You can actually micro Goliaths out of attack range. It is very difficult. Now this is a ton of Goliaths, and yes, BCs are strong, but they can't fight head on against Goliaths. There's a lot of Yamato here though, so I hope he does start using it. It's so difficult to tell you've actually got energy for this. You have to kind of cycle through them all, but looks like the BC is going to try and delay, or at least deny, the bottom left-hand base. But look at this, it's going to be Goliaths against BCs, so... Oh no, an EMP! A huge EMP is going to cause so many problems. So many of these battle cruisers heavily damaged. The Goliaths are going to do such a good job. This is why BCs cannot push on their own. You need tank backup because look at this, he's going to lose all of the BCs he's been building up. KikO with a perfect move there, pushing in. Look how many dead BCs there are, and suddenly KikO is almost in a position where he has better BC count, but no, he does lose one himself. And both players taking massive damage here. And look at this, J1, he's mined out. His gases are very close to depleted. He's working off of 1 gas now. Whereas look at KikO. He was denied mining the middle so long, there's still gas here. And this gas is almost full. And he's got so many minerals, so we're gonna have KikO or J1 get himself completely gas starved. And KikO may have an amazing comeback here. Now obviously J1 still does have a lot of money, but it's mostly minerals, and when his gas bank runs out, like, he's going to be rebuilding battle cruisers here, right? So he's building 1, 2, 5 battle cruisers at a time. He is eating through his gas bank. And if KikO can get an engagement like he just did on the BCs, if he can get a great EMP the way he did before, all of a sudden J1 is going to be at a massive disadvantage because he'll have no gas anymore. Now there is still this island base, but it's going to be super difficult for either player to take it. The only person I think who has a chance is probably going to be J1, so maybe he can sneak that base in, but it's going to be hard. It is still quarter gas, but it is a little bit difficult still. And obviously upgrades are going to be at parity soon, so we've got more and more SCVs throwing themselves away. We do have 3-3 upgrades, more Yamato coming in. The Goliath's getting caught out. You don't want to have this happen in TVT. It's so difficult not to have that happen. And there we go, another Yamato coming in. There's no vessel, or there is 2 vessels actually. He's going to try and go in for an EMP, but good splitting on J1's BCs. It is actually going to be 9 BCs up against 6. The upgrades are actually still favoring J1. Very close to parity though. And when upgrade parity comes in, it's all about the energy usage. But J1 has been doing a fantastic job of moving in and Yamatoing over and over and over again. Now, of course, this does mean he won't have Yamato for the BC versus BC fights. But he'll still have a lot of energy, so... Okay, so KikO is looking to reinforce his position in the bottom middle. He knows that he has to keep this base alive. And I mean, look how much money KikO still hasn't actually mined. There is so much money in the bottom middle and in the bottom right. So... Oh my god! He did it! How did I just catch that? He dematrixed the Yamato, so he saved the tank. Wastes 150 energy? And he does it again! Oh my god! That is so pimp. Obviously that does eat into the EMP energy, but keeping your tanks alive when you've got so much gas back at home is massive. Okay, so both players just kind of feeling each other out. It's kind of weird. It feels like I've actually got like reveal all on, but it's because there's so much vision over the map for every single player, or for both players even. It's very difficult. Now we are going to have another Yamato in the top. There's going to be no D-Matrix to save this one, but it's worth it. We're going to have another Yamato going down on this tank here. Now he did get battlecruiser energy, which means when it's full, it gives you 100 energy back after a thing, so it makes it a little bit better. Now both players still have a lot of BCs, obviously J1 with a lot more. Now there is going to be another Yamato coming in. Oh, he misjudges with the D-Matrix, so that's going to go out. But look at this, there's 12 BCs here, 13 actually, so 13 3-3 BCs against 6 still. No additional BCs coming in from KikO. I don't actually know why he's not building them. Oh, he is. He's just having to free up a little bit of supply. He's got a lot of Goliaths, though, and Goliaths are incredibly strong. Yeah, he doesn't need to cast this with heroic sidekicks. Nuke would be very nice, but I love TVT, so... TVT is so good. Now, it is only 3-2 upgrades on ground, so he did actually save a little bit of gas as well. 3-3 doesn't do that much. But here we go, another Yamato coming in. Let's see if there is a D-Matrix ready. Oh, he doesn't save that one. Okay, that's a little bit unfortunate. Now, another load of BCs actually come in. They're all on full energy, We don't actually have a vessel for EMP for J1, so... Oh, he dematrixed the wrong tank again. That's a little bit unfortunate, but it is clearing up a little bit of supply. And another Yamato coming in. Now, it's kind of funny seeing so many dematrixes. Oh, is he going to get it? Yes, he does. That is so amazing. I love watching that. That is such a cool play. Okay. Yeah, it's so frustrating to play when you're in this situation. TBT is so stressful. Oh, and there we go. He saves another tank. Another Yamato wasted. KikO is a boss with these dematrixes. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, Yamato versus dematrix, man. You Yamato and then you dematrix the unit that it's targeting and it only eats the dematrix. It's so good. And this is the first game I've had like this in the STPL in over 1,700 games. There has been 1,700 games since the very beginning of the STPL back in March 2018. And honestly, this is a one-of-a-kind TBT. And here we go, Yamato going down on the BC, gonna get one of them. And I mean, J1 still has a massive bank, but look, he's mined out of this base. He's mined out of this base. He's throwing away some more SCVs, but he's mined out of this base as well. And because KikO was blocked from mining for so long, he's still got minerals at this base, and he's barely mined this bottom left-hand base. We're going to have fully mined out gas. This is going to be a fully mined out map, isn't it? Minus this one base. Oh my god, if it comes down to the island base, that would be so unbelievably sick. So we've got... I believe that was... Okay, I can check easier now. So 12... 14 BCs. Okay, now we're going to have counter Yamatos coming in. Oh my god. Oh, a dematrix as well. Gonna make Yamatoing this BC not really worth it. But there's going to be no EMP. If he can EMP this clump of BCs, he can actually go in and win the game, I think. But he still needs to be careful though. There's so many tanks on J1's side that his Goliaths can't actually move in and get close. But both of them are just constantly scanning each other. Look at this. All of their attention is on the middle of this map here because this is the one part of the map that actually matters. Now, J1, about 10 minutes ago, tried to go around to the bottom left of the map, but he couldn't do anything. Now, J1 is realizing he can push a little bit closer with these tanks. There is going to be another Yamato coming in. You really should try and Yamato these vessels, actually, because the vessels are really what's been the power play here. Oh my god, KikO hasn't scanned. Oh, still out of range? That is so close to range, though. Wait, unless... Oh, he gets the vessel. He doesn't go for the tanks. Another Yamato going to come in here. He's looking to just Yamato the vessels now because he knows the vessels are the one thing that are causing him problems, because the vessels have kept KikO's tanks alive this entire time. Like, he's had these 3 tanks for like 15-20 minutes at this point, and here we go, another tank going down. KikO is able to replenish the supply though. His bank is starting to get massive himself, and look how slowly J1's gas is going up. Oh my god, another couple of vessels going in. We did have a D-Matrix there. Does save... Oh, he doesn't save the BC, unfortunately. But he does trade very, very efficiently once again. And yeah, I think this game is certainly going to go over 1 hour at this point, because neither player... Like, it's so hard to constantly Yamato over and over and over again. Because look at these. They've all got they've all got energy. But he also can't risk running in and losing everything. Now, here we go. We're going to have another couple of Yamatos coming in on this. Is he going to have a D-Matrix? No, he doesn't. BC down. Okay, so using two sets of energy to kill a BC. Looks like he's going to try and do the same thing again. He only has 1 Yamato here, though. So he's going to have to switch that up with another one. Eventually, there is just going to be a big BC fight, I think, and it's going to decide the outcome of the game. But here we go, another Yamato going to be coming in. Where is he going to... Oh, he hits one of the BCs. But is he going to lose the vessel? Oh, no, he doesn't. He saves the BC. And he is repairing them, but he doesn't really have the gas to repair. Like, he's got 2k. But when that gas runs out, he's going to be mining about 8 gas at a time, I think it is, from those depleted guys. As now, look at this. J1 is going to try and take this base in the middle. He knows that KikO doesn't have any units up there. But the thing is, he sees with his turret range that this is coming up. But he can't actually move to a position to defend it. J1 has a lot of units there. Now, we are going to see a couple of Yamatos probably get used on it to push it away. And the issue is, he can't actually get any units down to them. I think he threw away all his dropships, but looks like we are going to have J1 trying to free up some more supply, trying to do a little bit of damage. If he can block the bottom left-hand base, J1 could take it for himself. Now, let's see if he can do it. Now, one mine from KikO that's been there for most of the game is finally going to come in handy. Now, we are going to have these tanks moving in. The BCs realistically don't want to leave this position, which means he's going to have to respond with his own tanks, with his own Goliaths. And is he going to be able to do it? Now, he is going to be able... Oh, he's actually got a lot of tanks here himself, so this could be a pretty good defense. But J1's got so many units here, he's definitely going to push through. So that's going to be one base down for KikO. And then one base up, most likely, for J1. Should expect to see him sending an SCV over, I would imagine. But there is still a tank back here defending. So that's going to be a little bit harder now. There is 3 tanks on the low ground here. So, oh my god, they actually get so much damage done. Now, while this is going on, neither player is really doing too much with their BCs because they're all focused on this bottom left-hand corner. And look at this. A single battlecruiser comes down and cleans up shop. Like, he's like, okay. Now... we've got another couple of BCs moving in. It is 2 BCs to kill a BC with a Yamato. But obviously if D-Matrix comes in, there we go, saves the BC. The vessel's going to go down though, that's 100%. Unfortunately he did D-Matrix the wrong thing there, could have saved a vessel, but... I mean, neither player is really in a position where they want to throw their units away. There's still no gas mining on here. KikO's gas is actually getting really, really low. This gas is finally depleted, so all of the gases minus the 12 o'clock are now depleted. And J1 has a massive advantage. He's got 200 gas more. Sorry, he's got 2k gas more than his opponent. So regardless of the outcome of this battle, if he switches back into ground, he should be in a good position. But KikO, he needs to stop this gas coming up. If he can take this base... this is an entirely different game, but it's so difficult for him to actually move across and do it. Yeah, he could have... the thing is, like, they've both been so busy looking at the middle of the map, both scanning each other constantly. Like, the amount of scans that are going down is ridiculous. It's so good. And every movement KikO is using a scan for. He's just keeping an eye on exactly where the BCs are, because he knows that all he has to do is trade efficiently. If he trades well, he is in a good spot. Now both of them are realizing the situation. It's almost a stalemate game here because neither player wants to risk being aggressive. You run in, you lose a BC, that's a problem. And look, the command center is going to lift now so some tanks can get up here. But he's actually built too many turrets, so the tanks aren't able to get up there, which is kind of funny. Oh, okay, he's going to use a... oh, we did have a tank go down to one of these BCs. Nice job. But here we go, look, dropping on the low ground. Gonna kill this gas. KikO needs to take this base. Like, if KikO can get this base, like, it's going to be incredible for him. But the trouble is, neither player can really be aggressive. Now, look at this. D-Matrix on both the tanks. Oh, but is he going to get his vessels EMP'd? No, he's not. Not EMP'd, sorry. Yamato'd. But it's not going to happen. Gonna need to send some more vessels up. Oh, no, this is going to be a massive EMP. EMP is absolutely huge. But look at this. It looks like we've finally got a position where J1 feels like he can be aggressive. One of the vessels going down with full energy. Look how good D-Matrix is against BCs. It's ridiculous. But here we go. We're going to have another big fight. There's a lot of missing energy here for KikO, for J1 even, so it's going to be a lot more difficult. But the BC count from J1 is absolutely massive right now. He's got more than 2 control groups, I think. Maybe just about 24 BCs, maybe 25, 26. And look, he's just going to land his base back here. He's like, okay, well, you come and deal with it. There's nothing you can do about my BCs right now because, unfortunately, KikO's only down at 12. He's done an amazing job dealing with all of the Yamatos this whole time. But he's not able to deal with this. Now look at this. He's going to push forward and try and break a way through for... Yeah, look how little damage that just did, by the way. Oh, another EMP. Oh, but it doesn't actually hit anything. That's really unfortunate. But he has finally killed all of the tanks. So suddenly, the Goliaths can come in as well. And the Goliaths are going to be a big swing in this fight. If they can get a good engagement on top of the BCs, this is going to be very difficult. Now let's see what the cloning is like. Lots of Yamatos coming down, but so many BCs, so many Yamatos going down as well. But look at this, J1, his BCs are getting annihilated, so he's going to pull back. But here come the Goliaths. They're going to push forward, see if he can break through. The BCs coming in the bottom as well. Still more energy, so difficult to use all that energy in the fights, but it looks like J1 is pulling back. KikO has broken through the middle of the map. And to be honest, he should try and take down this gas. But look at this, 3 tanks on the high ground. Gonna try and defend that base. And the BC count actually got lowered quite a lot here for J1. He's only just now above 1 control group, I think it is. Yeah, he's on about 16 BCs. And we still have 9 here from J1. Now look at this, KikO, or from KikO even. KikO gonna push forward with his tanks. See if he can get into a good position, but obviously the tanks now finally coming in from J1 to help settle this. Now there is 2 tanks down here, and these tanks down here that should probably move up as well, because the Goliaths are what are really swinging this here for KikO at the moment. He's unable to build more battle cruisers, so he's actually started adding Goliaths again. And when you're this low on gas, like he's only on 60 gas, so J1 is definitely still in a good position. The vessels, I think, all went down. Wait, did all the vessels go down? Yeah, he did. He's actually got these dropships that aren't doing anything anymore. Wait, did he have units in these before? Yeah, he did, but luckily enough he got them out. Now look at J1's BC count. I think J1 has definitely got this. But still, KikO has done such an incredible job to come back this well. And okay, this is kind of so crazy, but look at this. J1 is taking the base here. He's getting that extra gas. Like, KikO needs this gas more than anything. You know what would be a really cool play if he used his dropships to drop SCVs from here to here, get the gas and drop back again. But unfortunately it's going to be so difficult. Here come the vessels again. Did he just get a massive EMP? Yeah, he did. He actually EMP'd over half of the BCs. One of them's on 14 health. 1 hit away. It's still all to play for. With good vessel usage, he can still do this. It's difficult, but look at this. He's gonna Yamato this BC, gonna force more usage of gas. Oh, he should have actually just targeted that one, but look at this, another wasted Yamato. But this base here is the main story, because if KikO cannot deny that base, and he has no tanks anymore, KikO is obviously going to win the game. Now we are going to have two Yamatos going down on this this BC, but it doesn't die because of the D matrix. But look at J1; he's actually up 40 supply right now, and that's all in BCs. Oh, he's got another BC down here. He needs his tanks. Like, he needs tanks to block this base, because this is what'll win J1 the game. So this is a prime example of a crazy late game TBT. Obviously J1 took a massive advantage early on. He didn't press the advantage though, which gave KikO a chance to turtle back up and mine. And for the last half an hour, We've had a crazy BC versus BC fight where they've both been Yamatoing each other constantly, moving back, moving forward, using EMP, using D-Matrix. And just overall, this is a, like, I love games like this because realistically, like, you don't often get to see games like this. Now look at this, J1 is going to finally move his tanks down from the bottom left. He doesn't need to defend that base anymore. And he's going to try and break this command center. Or is he going to... Okay, oh, this is a bit of a mistake. I wouldn't push forward here. I'd go for the command center. Yeah, he's going to do that. But look at this, scan going down on top of this. So KikO's moving into... Oh, sorry, J1's moving into position to deal with it. And all he has to do is Yamato these 3 tanks, and he should win the game, essentially. J1 is doing such a good job of actually repairing, so is KikO. Like, one of my problems in TVT, watching, like, foreign players play TVT, especially Terra, is Terra doesn't repair his stuff enough. Like, you'll see stuff get hit, and it's like, Terra, just repair it. Oh, EMP! That's a big EMP. He does lose the vessel though, so that's a big deal. Now we do have the BCs getting in a position above the factories here. Now it looks like we are going to have the Goliaths pushing up, but the BCs Yamatoing the ground. Look at the Yamatos flying on both sides. It looks like this could be it. No more EMP. A little bit too early. There is an EMP here. EMP this mass group of battle cruisers. He's going to use... oh, this is so close. 8 versus 9. 9 versus 9. Okay, so now it's 10 versus 8. A couple of Yamatos going in, but look at this. He's actually doing a really good job in the fight. It's now 8 versus 7. He's breaking through. He's broken through the BCs, and this is the moment where things get better. Another D-Matrix come down. KikO is having an unbelievable fight here in the very end of this TVT. But J1 has more BCs back in reserve. He's finally got his own vessels. But for the time being, things are going to slow back down again. He's blocked this base. He cannot stop those tanks. I wonder if he's going to Yamato them. He really does. Oh, the vessel coming in. Oh, is he going to get the EMP off? Is he going to get the EMP? He does, but oh, a dodge! But it still hits, I think. Yeah, just about hit. That could have been an amazing dodge. Oh my god. If he'd have split perfectly against the EMP, I'd just call KikO a god right now. But unfortunately, he didn't get split there. But KikO, I mean, he has done an incredible job to come back this well in this game. Like, the position he was in, he was so far behind. Yeah, oh. Okay, this is kind of actually not worth it, I don't think. He is going to kill the SCVs though, so I guess that's something. Okay, another 2 vessels coming, oh, another 2 BCs coming in. They're getting Yamato both of these tanks. These are the final 2 tanks remaining on the map here for KikO, so he can no longer deny this base with anything but his own battle cruisers. Oh my goodness, we're hitting the 1 hour mark, guys. This is definitely going in to be one of the longest games in STPL history for sure. And we're in a nearly fully mined out map situation. The only base left is the island base between the 2 mains. And I could not ask for a better game. I love TVTs like this. They're so crazy. Every single man... Oh, it's kind of strange because you wouldn't think this, but in a late game TVT like this, it kind of turns into early game PvP where one miss micro can actually cost you the game. I guess it's more like early game CVZ as well, where it's like you get so late that the map's mined out, you're not really mining gas anymore. Oh man, is he going to take out this bottom left base? I think he is. There's nothing down here to defend it. He's finally realized he had all these units that could have pushed down. That's going to be a fresh base. Essentially, like it's halfway gone. Oh, but here we go. Oh, a big EMP on the front of the BCs there. There's no tanks actually backing these up, so they're taking a ton of damage. And it looks like KikO is fresh for a fight here. He's going to try and push forward. Now, the funny thing about having all these units down here is it's actually supply that's not in BCs. So KikO is going to be feeling pretty good about this. But look at this. We're going to have another big BC engagement coming up soon, possibly. It's so unbelievably close. Like, it could actually still go either way. Yeah, we've got 11 BCs back here. Over on J1's side, we've got 13. One of them heavily, heavily damaged. Look at this. The Goliaths continuing to show they've actually got a little bit of value in this game. The tanks of J1 not nearly far enough forward, but he can't risk them. But the issue is these tanks and Goliaths in the bottom left, they're going to kill every last building. Oh my god, J1's... Oh, KikO has had 2 tanks here. I wonder how long for. Okay, we've officially passed the hour mark. Okay, we'll have to see exactly what's going to go on. Obviously, it's still going to come down to a final engagement. Like, I don't honestly understand why KikO hasn't been rebuilding BCs. I don't know what he's been spending his gas on. But I think a lot of the vessels... Have the vessels got? No, he has 1 vessel in here. How many He only has 1 vessel, so the power of KikO's army from before, which was the mass EMPs, the mass D-matrixes, is not going to be in here. Now let's count the BCs again. 6 here for J1. Another 6, so 12. So it's up to 15 BCs right now. KikO is on 11, so he's 4 BCs down, but he does have full energy. Whereas KikO, or J1 does not, so there is still a chance here. But he does need to be careful. But look at this, J1 is going to take this extra depleted gas. Both of them are entirely out of gas now. J1 has spent his gas bank. Whew. Okay. Officially 1 hour, 1 minute in. You know what? I don't actually know how repairing works. I think it's... If a building or a unit costs gas, it costs gas to repair. Okay, let's see what the moves are going to be here from KikO. He's going to try and push forward. We do have a BC moving forward. This could be a bit of a mistake. If he gets 2 BCs to Yamato that, it's going to die. So he's going to pull back for the moment. I honestly feel like we should... Yeah, here we go. It looks like J1 is going to try and push forward with a few BCs. See if he can get a couple of Yamatos off on a stray BC like this. But it's so on a knife edge. Like, either player can still win this game. But the issue is... J1 has ground units, so as long as KikO loses the air war, J1 wins. But if KikO wins the air war, J1 has nothing but tanks, so the tanks just die to the BCs. Now, we do have a base coming up down here, which is kind of funny. We've got the 2 tanks in the middle defending his natural. Goliaths being repaired now. This is how important every single unit is in this moment. Okay, so we're going to have J1 pushing forward with his tanks now. This is the move he wants to make. He's going to try and secure this base again. I believe there should be a CC flying over or something. No, he's actually not going to fly a CC. Maybe he's just going to build one. But I think we're heading into the final moments of this game, guys. It's been an incredible game so far. And I genuinely cannot tell who is going to win. KikO has had such amazing engagements. He's been winning engagements he shouldn't have. But could this be the final straw here for KikO? We've got another command center coming up. Is he going to Yamato it? Yes, he is. That's not going to kill it, though. Don't waste your Yamatos on this, man. This is not good. I mean, I guess it stops him getting the extra gas, but this is stuff you need to be hitting his BCs with. And there we go. Okay, that was a wasted D-Matrix, I think, but I guess it'll help him in the initial fight. But here we go. The command center from the middle has finally been lifted. That's going to be heading on over. Both of them are... KikO has got a higher mineral bank now. He's still not added more BCs. I do not understand why not. Not even added vessels. I mean, there's a couple of them. They do have vessel energy as well, I think. No, they don't. So it is only 2 D-Matrixes, or 1 EMP and a D-Matrix, so... Okay, let's see what we're going to have here. We're going to have KikO push forward with a couple of BCs. Going to get a good set of Yamatos off. Obviously, the D-Matrix going to save him here. But he still needs to be careful. Yes, he picked off a single BC, but look how many of them are still left. He's got over a control group. We still only have a single control group of BCs here for KikO. Okay. We're still in a position where the map is mined out. J1 can barely actually afford a command center anymore, so he's going to think about taking this into this base, but it's not going to do too much. I mean, you can see that J1, he only cares about this gas because he knows if he gets more gas, he can still afford to build BCs. He's on 23 SCVs. I have absolutely no idea where most of them are. There are a few here, if I can click on them, but I guess the rest are just on gas. Yeah, they're on gas throughout the map. Okay, this is going to be what could be the winning move here for J1. He's going to push forward with his tanks and see if he can break into the place where KikO is keeping all of his units. Now, did we see an EMP? We did. A massive EMP hit all those BCs. Oh my goodness. That is exactly the move that KikO needs to win this engagement. Now he has a ton of Yamato. Please, Yamato the BCs. Here we go. I'm going to turn off the unit panel for this. It's going to be very difficult to tell exactly what's going on, but big Yamato's going across all over J1's army. He's Yamatoing the tanks, though. That's not something you want to be Yamatoing. It looks like J1 has finally got enough to break through, and it looks like KikO is breathing his last breath. GG!